Winter in Shenyang can be as cold as minus 20 degrees Celsius. In summer, it can hit a sweltering 30 degrees Celsius and beyond. Compared to the changes that this region's economy is undergoing, the drastic changes in temperature are no big deal. Shenyang, the provincial capital of China's Liaoning province, is also home to thousands of China's state-owned enterprises, or SOEs. Once the industrial might of China, many of these SOEs are now shadows of their former selves. The call for the rejuvenation of the Northeast is set to restore the glory of Northeast cities like Shenyang. How are the people coping? Is this city still the pride of China's industrial might? What lies ahead for this city? Shenyang was once the capital of the Manchurian Qing dynasty before it moved to Beijing. Remnants of its glorious past can still be seen in the imperial palace located in the heart of Shenyang. In 1949, after the Communist Party came into power, Shenyang was designated as China's machine building center. Huge companies with heavy machinery and equipment were set up in this region. In the 1950s, Shenyang reached the height of its heavy industrial power. Even up till the 1980s, it was still far ahead of those in the coastal cities. Today, Shenyang is still the industrial, commercial, and transportation center of Northeast China. This is where we begin our journey to discover China's next regional powerhouse. One indication of a city's popularity with businessmen, the presence of international five-star hotels. Among these five-star hotels is the Shenyang Sheraton Lido, one of the largest and most luxurious hotels in the city. Most of these international hotels are equipped with business centers and provide fine dining destinations for business travelers. But such grandeur did not exist a few years ago. Back then, instead of its glorious past, this city was more infamous for its bankrupted companies and high unemployment level. Like other cities in the Northeast, Shenyang's economy was dominated by SOEs until the late 1990s. They accounted for some 85% of the city's industrial output. In the 1980s, when China began to embrace the market economy, SOEs found their businesses inefficient and their equipment obsolete. Many were forced to shut down. For the few surviving SOEs, they must get rid of this heavy and unnecessary burden. They have to restructure. Costs have to be cut, and workers have to be retrenched. "48-year-old Mr. Song was one of the many victims of the reforms. For some 20 years, he worked as a welder in a state-owned paint factory. When the company restructured in 2001, he was laid off.
当时心情挺沮丧的，因为孩子面临着高中上大学这些费用，还有我的将来失业保险问题、医疗问题，都是个摆在面前的问题。然后没有了，企业觉得心里边没有底一样，这种感觉挺沮丧的。
Today, it's common to see people resigning or getting fired from their jobs. But for many years, such a phenomenon was unthinkable, especially in the Northeast. All the workers there believed that the country, or the SOEs which they worked for, was obligated to take care of them. This was because, in theory, the workers were also the masters of the SOEs. These SOEs' employees, once the proud elites of the Northeast region, now struggled to survive. The enterprises were being restructured faster than new jobs can be created. Workers thronged the labour market daily in search of suitable jobs.
在那个时候呢，应该说，进行了这种我们内部说叫顽强的抵抗。当时提的口号想起来都，现在想起来都觉得挺有意思。当时说就是说大家都要坚持住，看看坚持到最后一个倒下。然后这种提法本身就挺有意思。首先，前提条件是倒下。在这个前提下是坚持最后一个倒下，所以说当时可见当时企业经营的困难和人们这种信心受到了一些挫折。
Shenyang Machine Tool Company Limited, or SMTCL, was one of the many SOEs that had to undergo massive restructuring. Initially, the company was reluctant to let its people go. SMTCL first obtained a 26 million RMB loan from the World Bank. It was subsequently listed on the Shenzhen Stock Exchange in order to raise the funds needed to carry the company forward. But all these measures proved insufficient. They realized that they were held accountable by shareholders, and profit was what really mattered. So SMTCL got rid of its non-core operations, such as schools and hospitals. Some 22,000 employees were retrenched, given early retirement and laid off. In the face of bankruptcy, many SOEs had no choice but to make this painful move. Such drastic reforms shocked many Northeast workers. Massive and sudden unemployment, in the absence of a proper welfare system, inevitably gave rise to social tensions and problems. Some serious reforms had to be implemented before the city was thrown into social turmoil. Just when Shenyang seemed to have fallen into the gutter and left abandoned, a few big foreign names took an opposite stand. They made calculated bets that within the Great Rust Belt, there laid great opportunities.